The Alberta government says that it will be moving very quickly in conjunction with the federal government to get supervised drug use injection sites up and running in Edmonton's downtown as a way to tackle the growing opioid crisis hitting the entire province. The provincial government wants to have these intravenous drug shooting galleries in Edmonton's inner city ready to go by the winter time. They say they're just waiting on the federal government's go-ahead for the whole thing. The Edmonton City Council already voted 10-1 in favor of setting up 3 supervised intravenous drug use facilities in May. A 4th site will be at the Royal Alexandra Hospital for inpatients as part of an addictions treatment center already there. All of this is funded by you, the long-suffering taxpayer. Yes, Edmonton is in the middle of an opioid crisis. These are some of the social problems that occur within a bad economy. There have already been 609 fentanyl-related deaths since the beginning of last year. It's horrible. No one should die of drug addiction. But here's the thing. 69% of all victims of overdose in Alberta lived outside of any of our urban areas, while the 3 supervised injection sites will be in Edmonton's downtown core. You know who lives in Edmonton's downtown core and completely minds their own business all the time? Edmonton's Chinese community. And they don't want this in their community at all. The people who live in Edmonton's Chinatown don't want these drug addict attractants in their community. They even held a protest before City Council voted in favor of all these shooting galleries. They said they weren't properly consulted before the locations of the shooting galleries were chosen. You know who else lives downtown? Poor people who aren't drug addicts, who are just also minding their own business and trying to climb their way up the social ladder. These are folks who often can't afford to live somewhere else, somewhere better. They don't have the money to move away, especially, again, in this bad economy. And they certainly don't need every drug addict in the city corralled into their backyards. The city and province and the federal governments, well, they're all progressives, and they say they consider the feelings of everyone in their quest for social license. But I guess Chinese people and inner city poor people, they just don't rank high enough on the SJW hierarchy to merit any sort of real consultation and consideration. If you build these things, the drug addicts will come. And we know drug overdoses are everywhere. So why don't these people just put them in places where the residents actually want them? Why don't they put them where the rich progressives live? Or do they not want the persistent loitering, prostitution, and unsavory types dealing drugs in their back alleys? And here I thought progressives cared about poor people, but in the meantime, progressives use poor communities as a dumping ground for their social problems and then consider the problems fixed. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. The progressives in the media, they sure don't like when we talk about these sorts of things. And our internet censors, well, they want to shut us down. But if you believe in free speech, go to standwiththerebel.com.